You already lost. You just don't know it yet. That friend who always seems to come out on top in every argument. That one person in your class, your office, your friend group, who never seems stressed, never seems threatened, never seems caught off guard. While you're still figuring out what just happened, they've already moved on to the next step. And you always thought, they're just lucky. They're just naturally confident. They just have something I don't. No, they don't have something you don't have. They know something you were never taught. And that's what makes me angry. Because this knowledge exists. It's been documented. It's been proven. It's been used by some of the greatest strategic minds in human history. Sun Tzu wrote about it 2,500 years ago. The Stoics built their entire philosophy around it. Modern neuroscience has confirmed it with actual research. And Ayanokoji Kiyotaka, that quiet, invisible kid in Class D, executes it perfectly, every single episode. But nobody explained it to you. Nobody sat you down and said, hey, this is exactly why you keep losing situations you didn't even know were battles. Until right now. I want you to think about a specific moment in your life. Not in anime, not in a movie, your real life. A moment where someone got the better of you. Maybe it was an argument where they somehow made you look like the bad guy. Maybe it was a situation where you thought you were fine, and then suddenly you weren't. Maybe it was a friendship where you realized too late that you were being used, and afterward, you sat there thinking, how did I not see that coming? Here's the answer nobody gave you. You were already behind before it started. They had information you didn't have. They had patience you didn't have. They had a plan, while you were just living in the moment. That's not a personality thing. That's not an intelligence thing. That is a system, and today I'm going to give you that system. 4 layers, completely broken down. The last one is the one that will genuinely disturb you, because once you see it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. In your friendships, in your classroom, in your workplace, in people you trusted. Let's go. Here's the thing nobody wants to admit. Most of us are reactive. Something happens, we respond. Someone challenges us, we defend. Someone manipulates us. We only figure it out weeks later, lying awake at 2 a.m. thinking about what we should have said. Sound familiar? That's not weakness. That's just how we were raised. School taught you to answer questions, not ask the right ones. Society taught you to respond to problems, not anticipate them. Nobody ever taught you to read a situation before it becomes a situation. And the people who figure this out, even accidentally, they seem like they have superpowers. That one guy in your friend group who always knows what's really going on. That one person who never gets caught off guard. That one individual who somehow always ends up with the advantage, without ever seeming like they were trying. Ayanokoji is the extreme version of this. But the principle behind it, completely real, completely learnable, completely available to you. Here's what it actually is. Let me paint you a picture. You're in school. There's this one guy, let's call him your Ryuan. Maybe he's the loud one, the dominant one, the one who controls the social dynamic of your entire class. He decides he doesn't like you, so he starts. Little things first, a comment here, a joke at your expense there, making sure everyone around you sees you as beneath him. And what do? You react, you get angry, you try to defend yourself. Maybe you fight back verbally. Maybe you go quiet and just absorb it. Either way, you're playing on his terms, his timeline, his battlefield. Now here's what Ayanokoji would do. Nothing. Immediately. He wouldn't react. He wouldn't defend. He wouldn't even acknowledge it visibly. But internally, he'd be collecting data. Why is this person acting this way? What does he actually want? What does he fear? Who does he depend on? What pattern does he always follow? And then weeks later, when the moment is exactly right, one move, quiet, clean, devastating, not a fight, not a confrontation, a checkmate that was set up so far in advance that the other person never even saw the board. Sun Tzu described this exact strategy in 500 BC. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. not to win the fight, to make the fight unnecessary, and that changes everything about how you should be approaching conflict in your life. Here are the 4 layers of winning before the fight starts. I call it the AI framework. Layer 1, asymmetric information. Sun Tzu said, "Know your enemy and know yourself. In 100 battles, you will never be defeated." Ayanokoji knows everything about everyone around him, their insecurities, their desires, their triggers, their patterns. But nobody knows anything real about him. That gap, that is power. Think about your own life, the people who make you uncomfortable. How much do they actually know about you? Your reactions, your weak points, your emotional triggers. Now flip it. How much do you know about them? Most people are so focused on being understood that they forget to understand. Every conversation is an intelligence gathering opportunity. Most people waste it by talking. Layer 2, identity concealment. The Stoics had a concept called the inner citadel. Your true self, your true capabilities, your true intentions, kept inside, protected, invisible to the outside world. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, one of the most powerful men in history, was described by people around him as quiet, unremarkable, easy to underestimate. That was deliberate. Ayanokoji scores average on purpose, stays in the background on purpose, appears uninterested on purpose. Because the moment people underestimate you, they get careless. They show you their real moves. They stop guarding themselves. Sun Tzu literally wrote this. Appear weak when you are strong. Stop announcing your progress. Stop showing your emotional reactions in real time. Stop letting people know exactly where your limits are. The less readable you are, the more powerful you become. Layer 3, pattern recognition. Psychologist Adrian de Groot studied chess grandmasters in the 1940s. He found something shocking. Chess masters don't think more moves ahead than average players. They recognize patterns faster. Because they've seen thousands of positions, their brain instantly connects new situations to stored patterns and predicts what's coming next. Ayanokoji does this with people. He's observed human behavior so deeply that he can predict reactions before they happen. Every person in your life is more predictable than you think. That friend who always plays victim when confronted. That person who always brings up past mistakes when they're losing an argument. That colleague who always gets aggressive when they feel insecure. These are patterns, consistent, repeatable, predictable. Once you start seeing them, you can prepare for them before they even show up. Layer 4, strategic patience. This is the hardest one and the most powerful. The Stoics called it amor fati, love of what is, complete acceptance of the present moment without the desperate need to immediately fix it. Ayanokoji never moves before the moment is perfect. He sits, he waits, he lets the enemy exhaust themselves chasing shadows, and then one move, at exactly the right time. Most people lose not because they're weak, they lose because they move too early, out of emotion, out of impatience, out of ego. Think about the last conflict you were in. Did you respond too fast? Did you say something out of anger that gave the other person exactly what they needed? That's the trap. Patience isn't passive. Patience is the weapon. Okay, real life, right now. First, start listening more than you speak. In every conversation, your job is to collect more information than you give out. Ask questions, let people talk. They will hand you everything you need to understand them. Their fears, their insecurities, their desires, it's all there. You just have to stop talking long enough to hear it. Second, stop broadcasting yourself. Stop telling people your plans before they happen. Stop showing your emotional reactions in real time. Stop letting people know exactly what bothers you. The moment someone knows your triggers, they own a remote control to your behavior. Take that remote back. Third, study the people around you for 7 days. Just observe. No judgment, no reaction, just watch. Notice how that one person always deflects when they're wrong. Notice how that friend always gets quiet right before they do something shady. Notice the patterns, write them down. You will be genuinely shocked how predictable the people around you actually are. Fourth, implement the 24-hour rule. Any situation that makes you want to react immediately, wait. Minimum 24 hours. Collect information. Identify patterns. Decide your response strategically, not emotionally. Reactive response loses. Calculated response wins. Every time.